What's up, guys? Welcome back to my little YouTube channel that I got running. I'm Lil VVS. I'm an artist. I make music, but what some people don't know is I also kind of make beats. I'm a little producer on the side, and today I'm going to show you how I make hyperpop beats from my artist RAYY, who I'm producing right now. Let's get straight to it. So the first thing I really want to do is I want to find a nice guitar sample that I want to rock with, like probably something from Aole. Lil Pack. He has all these like weekly sendaways of loops and shit. So I'm gonna go through there until I find something I like. I kind of like that. It's groovy. I like it. So I want to make sure that this is this little clipping thing here where there's silence. It's gonna fuck up the timing a lot. So I'm just gonna take that out. And there you have something nice. So it's called Soulful. The sample is 185 BPM. Already for me, that's a little too fast to work with for hyperpop, unless you're trying to go really like hyperpop. But I'm gonna bring it down to 170. And I'm gonna take all the stems. These are the stems right here. This, etc. All of these are the stems, and I'm gonna line them up. My bad. Now that I got all this open, I have all my stems right here. This would be like the main. Yeah, this is perfect. So the first thing I want to do when I'm making a hyperpop beat like this is I want to make sure that this bass, that the bass that they put, that like comes with the beat, like this bass that comes with the beat, I'm not gonna use that bass. I'm gonna switch it out. So all the drums I'm using in here, I did put them into produced by VVS Hyperpop Stash Kit. These are not my sounds. This is not my drum kit. This is all from a little kit I purchased from CM Spark, who I absolutely love. I adore him. He makes crazy beats, and it's from all of these sounds are from his drum kits, from a little hyperpop bundle that I bought for $50. So I know it says that like it was produced by VVS Stash Kit. This is not my sounds at all. So I'm gonna use CM Sparks Free Space. This is my favorite like sub bass to like switch out when I'm making hyperpop beats. I'm gonna boost it up and EQ it down a little bit. It's gonna give it some life. Put the hold up, the deck down, the sus down, the release down, and what this does is it makes sure that if you're like holding it and you stop holding it, it stops. Because if the release is like up there, like it'll keep going even if you stop holding it. Alright, so we're gonna find out the root notes, and how I do that is I usually I solo the bass and I highlight it, and then I go over here and I right click on the track that it's on, and I go to consolidate tracks and time selection, and I bounce it out. And what I'll do is I'll delete this, go up here, do Command E, which is gonna pull up my Edison, right click on the playlist in Edison, and go to detect regions and detect pitch regions. So now I see it goes D, E, F sharp, so D, E, F sharp is really like the keys that we need to know. Alright, now that I've got that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to follow this as best as possible. And then when I'm done with it, I'm going to like switch it up so it's better. So the first key he said was D, so I'm going to find F sharp, did he say it was F sharp? Not E, my bad. And now I can delete that, and I have like this pattern here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add like just like a really little soft little touch to this. Since it's such heavy bass, I want it just to give it. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce it out, and there I have my bass. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boost it. Here we go. Now I have. So I have that track if I need it, and if I need to edit this, all I gotta do is do it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bounce the same track, but I'm gonna bounce it without the shaker. And now I have it. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with this. This is annoying me, so there's always gonna be, when you consolidate a track, there's always gonna be that little tail over there. Just cut it off. Alright, now for the arranging, before we get into the drums. What I like to do is I like to have my stuff, just like 33 bars of my stuff, and then I'll figure it out. Like for the intro, I just want that down. Alright, that's what I want for that, and I'll keep the bass in. And 25 that's where I want my chorus to come in. So this will be an entire like intro / verse type of feel. And for the chorus, for my hook, I want it to just be I'm gonna cut up the guitar loop. I do that a lot in hyperpop. And I might add chords. I'm gonna add a little bit of glitching. Alright, so this is gonna be like what my hook setup looks like. I'm gonna create a new pattern. It's gonna be my drum pattern. First thing I want to lay down is the bass. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use like just a regular bass first, and just like lay down my root notes, see if it sounds good, and create a pattern that sounds good, and then I'm going to switch it out to a heavy hyperpop bass. Nevertheless, whenever you're using a bass, you have to do that hold trick. So if you're playing it, it stops when you stop holding it. Dun dun. This is cool. This is really good. I like this actually. This is cool. So the bass that he usually uses in his beats is the energy bass. Personally, I like his more screechy basses. So what I like to do is I like to cut off the 808 right as the snare hits. So it'd be like, and like you just have to, if you know what to do, you do it. You know, you have like inspiration. So I have inspiration to make this beat, so I'm just gonna like, the next thing I want to do is I want to add a kick. Not a hi-hat, a kick. The kick I usually like to use to give it a really hard hit is dope kick, and I'll switch it out if I want to. Okay, so as you can see, this kick is boosted. You can see in the waveform, but I like to boost it about 2%, 2 to 3% to really give it that kick. Maybe EQ it a little bit. Make it really hit you in the face, like. Like really hit you in the face, like this is sunset, this is what we need, this is the vibe. This is definitely not the right kick, but I'm going to finish laying out the pattern because it hits. Alright, now that I have a cool kick, alright, we got a cool kick. The first thing but before I go on, I'm just gonna send this to a mixer track, random mixer track. I don't really care, cause I'm gonna mix it later. Soft clipper. And now let's get a snare just to lay down the foundation and have something to really keep like the beat hitting. So usually hyperpop snares are people that really think like hyperpop as like a really chill, not really chill, like really straightforward, they would use snares like this or snares like that. Those are cool, but I like to use the snares that are short and straight to the point. Really, like, so they're not like lingering with the 808. And this is just going to be in the background, really just hitting that. Just get a really, really cool perk. Like, the most generic one that I usually use, like every beat, like every fucking beat, is this. Like, it's just like, my bad. It's just like really. Next thing I really want is just the hi-hats. Hey, probably like, VV, why did you wait to put the hi-hats to last? Because the hi-hats are the most important part of a hyperpop beat. You can't just have it go. That's too simple. There needs to be variation. And to be honest, a lot of hyperpop beats don't have that. Like, the only hyperpop beats that I see are the underground ones. Like, when I'm listening to hyperpop beats that are like made it, like Glaive and that shit, they don't have a lot of that, but it's alright. So what I'm just doing is I'm splicing out my hi-hats. I'm going to show you the use of velocity with hi-hats in a second. Like, you want this to go. Hi-hat velocity is the most important thing in a beat, in my opinion. I want this down, and I want this down, so they hit really nice. Now that we have like a solid drop kind of formation, we have like a solid drop. The only thing I want to add maybe at the end is chords, but we're going to move on to the other drums. And now I'm going to name this verse drums. Verse drums for hyperpop can go many ways. They can go electronic, they can go live, they can go poppy, they can just go hyper. So what I'm going to show you for this one is, you want this twice. So I'm just going to make this twice. And then 41 is your verse. What I'm going to show you is this. And what I actually want to try to do, I'm going to take this, time select it, and I'm going to make that a whole fucking thing, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. So it's like a whole track. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pitch it up. Alright. So what I did was I pitched this up. so it gives it that nice hyper pop little vibe. And for the verse, I'm just gonna give it pop drums. I'll do another tutorial, hyper pop tutorial at one point, and I'll give it like hyper pop drums, but like I'm gonna use cursed kick for this verse drums. Live open hat. This live open hat. This live hat. And this fruity snare. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go. And there we have a nice little foundation to go off of. And so now I have like a literal solid foundation to work off of. Curse kick, keep it the same, just switch up some things, and you should be fine. Keep the blinded hat the same, just I'm gonna give it a little velocity alteration. But you keep it the same. The next thing I really want to do is I've basically got everything. So I'm going to finish up. This is going to go to 57, I think. And then we're going to go back into the chorus. And then we're just going to do an outro. So it's a short beat, but I'm going to show you. All right. Here we go. Now that I have the arrangement with all the melodies, I'm going to show you how to arrange the drums. So I'm going to drag and drop drums right here. I'm going to click this drop down menu up here and go to split by channel. What I like to do is I like to go hi-hat, snare, snare, snare. Where's my snare at? Memory snare. I like to go perk. I like to go crash and open hat. And then I'll go to the kick and the 808. And I like to put a little riser on this, so I'll go to effects and I'll go to build up noise. And also just because I think it might sound good, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, if you hear Asher by Glaive, there's just like da 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 da. And he has it in his kit. It's like a build up. And for the second time where everything really comes together, I want to add that, but I'm going to have it be super, super muffled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, and it should disappear, go to normalize. Then I want right here something like crazy before the drop, just like it dropped out. So I'm going to go to fills. So I add simple stuff right here. I actually do want this to be a little bit longer, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just add a place for the artist to go crazy, like a little bridge, and then I'll add and then I'm just going to add this for the outro. And the next thing you really just have to do is mixing, and I'm going to run through that super quickly. All I want to do is I want to put, since this is a guitar melody, I have one rule for guitar mixing. Put it to, I don't care if it's mixed already, put it to your track 1, go down to Fruity Stereo Enhancer, go to presets, and click for strings only. It's going to pan your strings like a god. The only thing I want to do for the bass is I'm going to put it to number 2. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to EQ the shit out of it. Just like give it a... For the drums, really, I just want to take a look at the Hurricane. I'm going to put that to 23. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it an EQ. And for the master, I'm just going to put a compressor. And I'm just going to put on a default compressor. I'm actually going to, hold on, let me mess around with this. The ratio, I want it to be up. And then the next thing I just need to do is add my tag, which I'm going to grab right now. Make sure everything's stretched out. Go down to 120, which is the BPM of my tag. And I want it just as the beat drops. Like, VV, you ain't make this shit.
VV, you ain't make.
And what I like to do is I like to put it to, since I recorded this when I was like 13, I'm 15 now, I like to pitch it down. And I'm going to put it back to 170, 160, restretch, 170. And there's your beat, man. That's it. And that's how you make a hyperpop beat for my artist RAYY. That's how I make a hyperpop beat for RAYY. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let me know if you thought it was trash. Let me know if you thought it was great. Thank you so much. I love you guys.